So I must have been pretty out of the loop because I didn't even know that there was a new Sonic Racing game coming out. Hey, I'm Jamie. I normally review headphones on my main channel. This channel is just kind of where I post whatever else I want to post that's not audio related. On my free time, I do like to play games, and I have played a lot of games like Mario Kart over the years. I grew up with Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, Super Circuit, and then for the last few years I had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The only Sonic Racing game that I played was for All-Stars Racing. I think it was the demo on the PS3, so I haven't really been that into Sonic Racing games over the years. So I was never really that much into Sonic Racing games. Although I like Sonic games, I would often play the mainline games. But the racing games usually just felt to me like a cheap gimmick that was trying to capitalize on the success of Mario Kart. So when Mario Kart World was announced, I was interested in trying it, but I don't have a Switch 2, so I held off on that and I just started playing Trackmania. So in a weird twist, I kind of just got off of Mario Kart and I stopped playing Mario Kart for almost a year now. And all this time I've just been playing Trackmania and not really thinking about kart racers that much. But then I opened up Steam the other day and saw that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds just dropped, and it had a lot of good reviews, so I bought it. And yeah, this might be one of the best kart racing games I've played in a long time. Now, Mario Kart World got a lot of hype when it was first announced, but then its hype died down really quickly just due to certain things like the online system and the way that they handle tracks, where you do like a couple laps on the track and then you have to drive to a transition track to the other track. And yeah, I did play Mario Kart World because my cousins have a copy and they challenged me to play them on a split screen, and I still beat them all, even though I'd never played it before. And it convinced me not to buy it, at least not now, because it just didn't offer as much as I was hoping, as that would be an upgrade from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But Sonic CrossWorlds is different, for me at least. It seems to hit a good balance of being an arcade-style kart racer, while still offering a lot of customizability and a high skill ceiling, which if you're into a bit more competitive racing games, is something that is appealing. So Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, the main gimmick is that the races are still 3-lap races, but the first lap is just a track in the standard form, but then the second lap opens up to a different track, which is either one of the CrossWorld maps or just another lap on a completely different track. And then on the final lap, you're brought back into the track you were racing on before. And this is a much better implementation of the sort of track switching gimmick that Mario Kart was trying to do. Because with Mario Kart, at least when I played it, it was fine, but the transition track was just kind of boring. You're just kind of racing from one end to the other. Whereas this, you're still always engaged in the race. As well, with the CrossWorlds changing for every track, and even when you're driving up to it, you can choose one of the worlds that is displayed to you, or just pick a completely random track. It keeps the entire race engaging and fresh every single time. So in that aspect alone, I think that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is better than Mario Kart Worlds with how it handles tracks and the sort of transition in between tracks. But then when you come to the actual racing mechanics, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds just feels a lot more fun. When you're racing in the higher speed modes, you actually feel like you're getting a really good sense of speed behind you. But probably my favorite thing about this game, opposed to other kart racers, is just the way you're able to customize your playstyle. Now, yes, other kart racers do have things like you can change your characters and then customize your karts a little bit for different stats, but probably the best thing about this game is the gear system. So when you start off the game, you have this little card with different slots, and then as you play, you can open up those slots and then add on different gears or different options to assist your playstyle. And then from there, you're able to really customize these options to match your playstyle. For me, coming from, say, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I played a lot with characters that allow me to get a lot of mini turbos. So with this game, how I set up mine was pretty much getting all the options to maximize my efficiency with boosting. Using the different options to maximize how fast the boost charges. This is kind of a more unique style gameplay where it's kind of high risk reward, where the way I play is using characters that maximize their boost potential, so that I can start off the race snaking to get out in front right away, and then use snaking to keep constant boost throughout the entire race. Now the problem with this, of course, is that I'm using lighter karts and characters, which can easily get like knocked out, so it is kind of a glass cannon in that sort of sense. But again, this is all customizable to your own playstyle. There's a whole bunch of other different options here where you can choose to have like more defensive things to stop you from losing rings, or if you want to play with a character that's like a heavier power class, you can add on things where it's like when you ram into other players, you gain a speed boost and you also steal some of their rings. So it's really customizable to your own playstyle. And I think that's what really makes this game feel lively, is that everyone seems to play it a little bit differently. When you go into an online lobby, there isn't a set meta, at least not yet, like you had in Mario Kart, where it's like everyone was using Yoshi and the Teddy Buggy. And this, when you go into a lobby, it's quite a good variation of the characters and the karts and how they're all set up and what gear selections they have. and it keeps the game feeling very engaging, fun, and just dynamic all the time. Now, obviously, the game's only like a few days old, so there isn't really a strict meta set up yet, but this is already a promising start, especially with just how well the online matchmaking system works. Usually when playing, I only had to wait like 15 seconds before I was put into a match, and really this game just feels like they really just want to make a really good game and not just a quick money grab. As well, the game already has set collabs for more character variation than just Sonic characters. At launch, you already have Hatsune Miku, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of other characters released in stages, and it just opens up a lot of potential for really interesting character combinations in the future. And of course, probably my favorite thing about this is that it's cross-play compatible. So I'm playing on PC, I didn't have to buy a Switch 2, I didn't have to waste a whole ton of money on a Switch 2, I just already buy the game on Steam, and I can play with people that are playing on consoles, and yeah, it's just a really nice feature that I wish more games of this sort had, was just cross-play compatible. The only nitpick that I have is that the time trials take too long to reset. Maybe that's just me being a Trackmania player. I'm so used to now being able to just instantly hit a button and redo to make sure you get the perfect times and the perfect splits, because you're fighting for that like 100th of a second versus players around the world. Whereas this is like the typical, you know, like Mario Kart, where when you're doing a time trial, you have to redo it, and it takes the whole loading process again. So that's probably my main nitpick, is the time trials. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be like any sort of battle modes like in Mario Kart, so that would have been nice, maybe even a story mode. But then again, it's good not to like overcommit. So in that sense, it's nice that they just focus on making a good game, and it is good and it really works. This isn't really like an in-depth review or nothing, it's just my first impression after playing for a few days, but I'm really happy with this. And yeah, it is a bit expensive, but it's cheaper than buying a Switch 2 and Mario Kart on top of that. So in that sense alone, this is a good value in my opinion. And yeah, it's just a really fun game. Once you kind of get used to the mechanics and things, it allows you to really find your own playstyle, and yeah, it's a fast, enjoyable kart racer. So yeah, I recommend it.